a very warm welcome to Bharata First. You're watching Toppers Talk. I'm Rausan Pereira. Over the past week, we've been meeting several great achievers in the UPSC CSE 2021. We've spoken to a few toppers about how they got to where they did, what has their journey been like, and what did they do to crack that elusive examination, one of the toughest examinations in the world. And today, I have a very special invitee on Toppers Talk. He's someone who has a safe little spot in my heart because of what he has achieved and how he has gone about achieving this.
Cracking UPSC CSE is like running a marathon. To get across the line, you need the right guide and training partner. Look no further than Bharata First Knowledge Center, your one-stop destination for all your competitive exams needs. Classes by the best names and subject matter experts in the field. Courses designed to address all aspects of the challenges at hand. Highly affordable courses priced at less than 150 rupees. Register now at kc.bharatafirst.com or download the Bharata First app now. Avail discounts of over 90%. Happy learning.
It's a pleasure to welcome Lakshay Anand, who has secured the 101st rank in the UPSC CSE 2021. A pleasure having you here, Lakshay.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure for me to talk to you here.
You know, Lakshay, when I saw your name on the list, I was so thrilled beyond words because of two reasons. One, because we interacted personally. I went through your detailed application form 1 and 2, and I know the struggles that you've been through in life to get to where you are and how you must have realized that dream. Only you can tell us, but the struggles are all real. That is one. Secondly, coming from the background that you come from, the humble background that you come from, deciding to be an Indian Foreign Service officer as your first choice when the entire country and all the youngsters are looking for the administrative service. Foreign Service, international relations also has a soft spot in my heart. I have a soft corner. So it was wonderful to see you achieve what you did. And I was thrilled because I so personally interacted with you, in several of those interactions. So congratulations. What does it feel like?
Thank you so much, sir, for all your warm wishes. Certainly, I'm feeling, I'm trying to sink it in. I knew that I'll clear the exam the moment I wrote my last page, but I never thought that I'll get this good rank. Currently, everyone is happy, and I'm still trying to sink the feeling in, and it feels unreal sometimes that I have cleared it with such a good rank in my very second attempt. So it's very happy for me, for my family, and everyone around me.
So lovely to hear that. What made you think of a career in the civil services? When did this idea come about? Who nudged you in that direction, Lakshay?
So I actually, interestingly, I do not come from that background where we had this exposure for career counseling. So I did not know about UPSC until my engineering was done in 2019. Then one of my friend from Miranda House, Himani, she told me, she introduced first time to me this exam, and she told me that I can clear this exam if I work hard. And she used to send me the syllabus and all the study materials, so I could not take the coaching, but she would buy the study material and she would share it with me, and I used to go through it. So that was the first nudge that happened to me. It's all because of her that I got to know about the UPSC and I tried to, crack it.
You know, Lakshay, I'm going to take the liberty to speak about a certain emotional aspect because I don't talk about personal issues, but I want to talk about it now because I want the world, I want the country to know that if you dream, you can achieve anything. Okay. So forgive me for bringing this aspect up, but I want you to speak about it because it is a story that needs to be heard. A story that needs to be heard for the entire country because what you have achieved is not a small feat. You know, Lakshay comes from a very humble and a poor background. His father was a daily wage laborer, hardly could make ends meet, lost his job during the COVID-19 pandemic as well. His mother is a homemaker, so they had a really, really tough time. He also has two younger sisters to support. And that is the kind of background that he comes from, with an annual salary or an annual income of much less than 1 lakh. And he is sitting here today in prime position to possibly be in the Indian Foreign Service, travel the world, probably wouldn't have even thought about it growing up. And he has made all of this possible. So that is his background. So what I want to drive home is, if you dream, if you work hard, anything is possible, isn't it, Lakshay?
Yeah, certainly, sir, it is. And I think the things that you have mentioned about my background, so one of the things I want to add is that I also come from a very low caste. So I'm a Dalit. I have to face this since my childhood. I have to face this, untouchability in direct and indirect ways, and I don't have my own home also. So whenever we used to go to find a home, so they will ask our caste, and they will not give us anything, any accommodation to for rent as well. And then I had to work also in last 2 years to give private tuitions so to make ends meet. And I have seen, I think all these things, my hard work and all my tough times in life, I utilized them. I made them my capabilities and I capitalize on it. I worked hard because I am used to work hard since my childhood. So I am not used, I was not, I did not get anything for like granted. So I had to work very hard from the beginning. And that is something which is needed by for UPSC as well. So that sailed me through, I think.
And it is so wonderful to see someone like you, Lakshay, get in through the system, because the country needs people like you. Country needs people who have grassroots knowledge, to know, to understand what is happening, to reach out and enable, empower the downtrodden and the marginalized sections of society as well, because for far too long now, they have suffered. So if you can, someone who understands that kind of pain, someone who has been through that firsthand, I certainly believe can do more for the downtrodden and the marginalized. And I believe that you have a bright future, and you will make not only your family, not only me, but the entire nation proud. Next follow-up question, Lakshay. Why foreign service? Because everyone looks at administrative service, and especially with your background, the first choice, I'm not saying it because it's a discrimination or anything like that, but generally, people with your background over the years that I've been mentoring, I've seen, tend to take up administrative service as the first choice. Why foreign service?
So, yeah, I was also insisted by many of people to pick IS as first preference, but there were two, three main reasons I picked IFS. One of the reason is my skill sets is more suitable to be a diplomat. So I have good communication skills, and I want to represent India outside the world. And I'm a big history buff, so I would love to read about the world history, the international relations, and all. So it is somewhere very close to my heart. So that's why I chose foreign services. And secondly, it is also because foreign service, it is not considered as good as IAS in India, but I think it's equally important because now India has a dominant role to play in geopolitics right now when India is emerging, and I think I believe, not just think, I believe that by the time I retire from my career, we will have a permanent seat at United Nations Security Council as well. So I want to see that happen. I want to be a part of that. So I picked foreign services.
I love your optimism, and I want to share your optimism as well. And I hope and pray that indeed does happen. Lakshay, let's start from your personality test first, and then go to mains and then prelims. How was your personality test? Do you remember anything at all, or now it's a blank? Because you must have been under a lot of pressure, under a lot of stress as well. At the end of the day, you look cool as a cucumber right now. Your mock interviews also, you are very cool, very composed. But the real deal can be something else. How was it?
So I had my interview on the very first. I was the first person to go to interview in the morning session, and my board was Mr. Rajiv Nenchovi's board, and it was very early in the morning, so I did not get the time to even talk to anyone to sit. Just after my document verification, I was sent to the interview. I was actually prepared for the interview. This is a thing with me that I keep my calm very nicely. So I was not very nervous or very scared of going into the interview room, and I think that worked in my favor. I managed to make two of the panel members laugh. I cracked a few jokes as well, and I scored a decent 182 out of it. So I think being calm, they are not testing the knowledge. I think they are testing how you behave in front of those people who are already in the service, and how do you, they are constantly observing your behavior, from your body language to your words to your how you phrase your sentences. So that matters more. I was not able to answer 10% of the questions that were asked to me. In fact, one of the panel member asked around 5 6 questions, and I was not able to answer even single one. But the chairperson, he himself said that don't worry, relax, calm down, and we are not testing your knowledge. It has already been tested. We are here to test how you react in this pressure condition. So I think if you keep your calm and you be clear of your answer, make it concise, clear, and positive, it will definitely help you a lot.
Absolutely. And Lakshay, do you remember some of the things that were asked you? For instance, since IFS was your first choice, was it more foreign relations centric, or what was it like?
Yeah, so I was asked one question based on my foreign service preference. There was an historian, very great historian in the panel. So, and my optional is history. So she asked me that you are very good in history, and you have cleared UGC JRF as well. So why don't you pursue, be a historian, pursue a PhD, and why do you want to go into IFS? It's not that, it's not that related to your background. So you should not pick IFS. So I answered her that, and she said in beginning of the question that you have a bright mind. So why IFS? Why not being an historian and have some respect? So I said that, ma'am, every year 25,000 people they become historian, but only 25 people they become IFS. And as you have said, I have a bright mind. So she laughed at it. So that is one thing that I've been asked from my service preference.
So presence of mind is very important. It's not, giving lengthy answers or trying to give a rebuttal or anything like that. The presence of mind and how you react in situations is what is important, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is most important.
Wonderful. So this was your second attempt, Lakshay?
Yes, sir. So it is my second attempt at civil services.
So what was different between attempt one and attempt two? What did you do differently?
So I had made some blunders and mistakes in the first attempt. Being very honest, I was very overconfident in my second CSET paper in my prelims. I was sure that I'll clear the GS when the moment I uh, came out of the exam room. And in that overconfidence, I did not study for the CSET in the break time. And also, I was very overconfident, being from an engineer background, that maths is my second like cup of tea for me. And I ended up making huge blunders, and I missed it by 0.3 marks. So I started to, take it not that. So I started to become optimist, but not over optimist as well. So that is one thing that happened with me. And I utilized that time, the time that I had before, after my prelims till the mains, for preparing for my optional. So I did not take it negatively. I utilized the time frame that I got. So it's like I bounced back better. So I knew that I have to give the next attempt. So why not, start today? Why? What is the point of being sad and feeling negative?
Absolutely. History as an optional, Lakshay, was that
Yes, sir.
difficult? Was that, simple? Because history too seems to be changing of late. Things are becoming different. What were your study sources like? How did you go about it?
So history as an optional actually is not liked by many of the aspirants, since it is very subjective and it is considered as less scoring. Once you attempt a question, and even if you are entirely right, you don't get full marks. You get only half of the marks. So scoring 270 to 80 also in history is a big thing for an aspirant. But I managed to score 291 in history optional, which is one of the highest this year. And this year, I think there are 7 to 8 people in top 100 who scored, including AIR one with history optional. So we have managed to break the myth that history is not a scoring subject. It is indeed a very scoring subject. Secondly, the sources, I think history has some limitations. It has a very vast syllabus. The most vast syllabus is of history. The syllabus itself is of 12 pages. But the best thing about history is that it is very predictable. It is a static subject. Most of the questions they are repetitive, and they are half of the paper. It was a mere repetition of last 30 40 years paper. So I would suggest that you should prepare the previous year questions very well in history. For that, the source can be self-study history materials. They are having very good source. They are compiled it very nicely, and I use that as my primary source. To put some historiography, I took help from my MA history professors, and I also read some NCRTs, Rajesh Sharma, Satish Chandra, and Bipin Chandra. So these three books, they helped me in history as well.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Good to hear. Thank you for sharing that information as well. Lakshay, um, before I let you go, what would you like to say to youngsters who would like to follow in your footsteps, crack this examination? What would you like to say to them?
So I'd love to say two things. First, that it is considered that this is a game of knowledge, but it is not. Indeed, it is not. Yesterday it was prelims, and even the topper who will clear the prelims, he don't know 60 of the 100 questions. It is not about the knowledge, it is about the mentality you approach the question with. You have to be very positive about your approach, and you have to be calm, you have to be composed. UPSC is not testing your knowledge. If it was testing your knowledge, they will keep minimum of PhD condition to give this attempt, but they are not. They are testing how well you perform in pressure, how well you take criticism, how well you bounce back better, how well you do hard work. And the second thing is that if I can clear this exam without coaching and without any external help, being from this background, I think anyone can certainly. So I will just say that कि कोई भी सपना छोटा नहीं होता, छोटे होते हैं इरादे जो सपने को देखते हैं. अगर आपका इरादा बड़ा है तो आप दुनिया की कोई भी पर्वत को तोड़ सकते हैं. यूपीएससी तो क्या ही है.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for those beautiful 4 lines as well. I'm sure you will inspire a whole generation to come. Yours is an inspirational story. I am touched. I am very, very proud of you. And remember one more thing, Lakshay. It means that the expectations from all of us also are going to be immense, and we are going to look up to you to make our nation proud and to work towards nation building. And we know that you will do it.
Yes, sir. I'll try my best.
Wonderful having you on the program, Lakshay. Thank you, and I wish you the very best in all your endeavors and in your service to this country. See you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Toppers Talk. That was Lakshay Anand narrating his story and his instances of success as well. You too can be the next Lakshay Anand. Just ensure that you work hard, have a dream, and pursue that dream to the fullest, and dreams do come true. That's it from me. But before I go, let me remind you to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon and share the content as well so that more people get to know about Bharata first. Until next time, this is Frankrausanpereira signing off.